Ages. On behalf of GermainCars.com, welcome to the Columbus Zoo and the Penguin Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fortunate today to have Gracyns, and she's from Otterbein, and she's going to tell you a little bit about our penguins and what she does at Otterbein.
Thank you. My name is Gracyns. I go to Otterbein University. I'm a zoo and conservation science major, so we're doing this for a project for my class. So I'm very excited to tell you guys about penguins today. So around the world, there are 17 different types of penguins, the largest being the emperor penguin, which can be about 60 to 90 pounds. The smallest is the little blue, which is about 3 pounds. And as you can tell by our penguins, they all look very similar. The way people can tell them apart is by blood analysis to tell if they're male or female. The threats that are facing penguins today are overfishing, taking all their food away from them, and pushing the food back so that they can't get it. Climate change, oil spills, and the most endangered penguin is the Galapagos penguin. So they have scale-like feathers that help them with waterproofing so that they're able to go through the water. It helps streamline them so they can go really fast. They have an oil gland by the tail that allows them to be waterproof so that they can swim. They have rubber around their belly to keep them warm while they're in the cold, frigid water if they're cold water penguins. They're torpedo-shaped bodies so that they can swim really fast through the water and get all those fish. So they have dense bones, and that's to help stabilize them in the water so that they don't float up or sink too far. They have counter shading, which is really cool. So counter shading is, if you look at a penguin from the bottom up, and the sky is in the background, so if you're looking at from the water, they have a white belly, so it blends into the water. And then they have a black back, so if you're looking down from the sky, it looks like the black water. So that's a very good camouflage for them. They have a third clear eyelid to protect their eyes when they're underwater so that they can see and catch all the fish. Now the penguins here today, these are the Humboldt penguins. They are one of 4 warm climate species. These guys are from Peru and Chile, and they live at about an average temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. They're colonies of thousands of penguins, and they can live to 20 to 30 years old in zoos and 15 to 20 in the wild due to stressors like predators. They can hold their breath for about 2 to 5 minutes while they're swimming, and they can dive to a depth of 200 feet to about 500 feet. And they can go at 20 miles per hour, and that's all thanks to the streamlined torpedo-shaped body that they have. These guys are 8 to 9 pounds, which is impressive that they can dive that fast and dive that far. They were endangered but recently moved to vulnerable due to competition, fishing, and guano harvesting, and egg collecting. These guys have a diet of anchovies, sardines, and schooling fish. In the zoo here we feed them trout, which is their absolute favorite, herring and smelt. They eat 2 pounds of fish a day, morning and afternoon here at the zoo. And they swallow the fish head first and whole. They swallow it head first so they don't get sliced up by the gills on the fish. And it takes them days sometimes for foraging to find all the fish that they need. These guys are very visual hunters, so they need to see the fish that are schooling around them. So the penguins here and penguins in general are monogamous pairs, which means they mate for life. They find each other by calling, bill dueling, flipper patting, and there's just a bunch of different ways that they find each other mates. They dig burrows in the wild for protection and nesting. Here they have box burrows. The males are the ones who work mostly on the nest. And this is, they use guano, which is, the guano hardens and it builds up, so they use the piles of guano to dig to make their nest. And this is the male's job. They dig it into piles, and farmers use it as fertilizers, and that's one of the problems that we have with the guano harvesting, so they're losing their nesting areas. And scientists can track species with satellites using images of guano. Now, these penguins can lay 2 eggs per clutch. On a good year, they can lay 40 eggs a year, twice in a year. That just depends on the condition. So the eggs take 40 to 42 days to hatch. Both the parents are very active in the incubation process. They both incubate the egg, guard the nest, and raise the chick and feed it. They can recognize their chick by the voice that they have. They all have an individual voice. It takes 10 to 12 weeks for the chicks to mature and leave the nest, and at 3 years they are able to mate. So in 2013 there was an estimate of 40,000 to 5,000 penguins in the wild. Here at the zoo, we feed them sustainably. We find only the fish that are sustainably harvested so that we're not hurting the penguins in the wild by feeding them. Climate change is a really bad thing for penguins because, especially with these guys, are pushing all those cold-water fish out to the sea, and they're not able to reach them, and different species are coming in that they can't eat. It also increases the pattern of El Nino, which increases the water temperature and causes fish to leave. It occurs every 2 to 7 years and can wipe out penguin populations by up to 50%. So Humboldt penguins have specific habitat needs, and that's why they can't move and migrate during times of food shortages, and that's the reason why they're so impacted by El Nino, because they nest in the same area almost every year. The Peruvian government has declared the first guano island to help raise the penguins and give them a place to nest. And there's a lot of ways that you guys can help us out, and that is the Sustainable Seafood app. It will help you figure out which kind of fish you can use and which kind of fish you can eat. Here at the zoo, we have joined with the SSP in 1997, and that's the Species Survival Program. It matches up pairs so that they can mate and we can help them out and raise their population. And we've had 24 hatchlings since 1997. All right, thank you guys so much. I'll turn it back over to the MC.